The Unitarian Universalist Church of Ventura, California, presents a homily by our minister, the Reverend Dana Worsnop, titled Good Riddance and Welcome, recorded on Sunday morning, January 3rd, 2021.
Good morning, and welcome to worship with the Unitarian Universalist Church of Ventura on this, the first Sunday of 2021. Yep, it is still virtual worship, and it will be as long as it needs to be. And we are still here. Welcome. Our theme for January is imagination, a good quality to invoke in a new year, especially a new year that promises to be another momentous one. So welcome all to this creative community, ever open to imagining what is possible as we say farewell to one year and imagine ourselves into a new one. There are, as always, a whole host of folks who help bring these services into being. And this is a slide of our entire tech team. And today, our director is Ryan Fortune, our assistant director is Kitty Merrill, and our magician is Sue Brinkmeyer. Our tech support human is Joe Osborne, and he can be reached by phone or chat. And also, just to say it, we are thrilled to have blues musician Teresa James with us again today. Just a couple of announcements. Again, she was here with us a little bit more than a year ago for the first time, not the last. Couple of announcements. The program fair today will be with Cappy Paulson. It'll be about our social action efforts as a congregation. Also, just a heads up that we have signed up as a congregation to provide food for a foul weather shelter the weeks of January 24th and February 21st. This is only if there's a foul weather event. So this is just something to be prepared for. Get it in the back of your head. Lots more information coming out about that, but wanted to hold that up. And this is our annual fire communion service. So what you need today, because it's going to be a little bit different, are two separate pieces of paper and something to write with, a candle, and in a bowl or just somehow secure, and matches. They'll come in handy in just a little bit. So take some moments, get yourself here with everyone here in this Zoom space that we create together. It becomes holy space because we create it together. Breathe, and let us turn our hearts toward one another and enter sacred space.
Good morning. I'm Worship Associate Andy Edgar-Beltran. I hope that everyone here has a chalice or a candle to light and something to light it with. Let's light our chalices all together. We begin with these words attributed to Indian poet Kalidasa. Look to this day, for it is the very life of life. In its brief course lie all the verities and realities of your existence, the bliss of growth, the glory of action, the splendor of beauty. For yesterday is but a dream, and tomorrow only a vision. But today, well lived, makes every yesterday a dream of happiness, and every tomorrow a vision of hope. Look well, therefore, to this day. Come, let us worship together.
Good morning, I'm Carolyn Bjerke, the music director, and I invite you to join in singing the opening hymn with me, Just As Long As I Have Breath. But if you need to run and grab some candles and matches, this would also be a good time to do that. So, here we go.
Isn't imagination a great theme as we continue to reinvent church in times that just refuse to be predictable? So on the first Sunday of each year, it has been our tradition to do a fire communion ritual. And in the sanctuary, we pass out strips of flash paper, which burns up in a delightful poof. And everyone writes something on it from the previous year that they wish to release, let go, burn away. Yet this year, we ask you to get your own paper and create your own burning bowl as we reinvent this ritual. You just need a couple pieces of paper, something to write with, and a candle. You can create your own burning bowl if you want, or just you use your chalice if you've lit one. That will work too. And this year, we are having two rituals, one of good riddance, letting go, release, and a second one of welcome, affirmation, intention. Although, let me say again, I say this every year, I think, this is decidedly not meant to be a New Year's resolution. New Year's resolutions are often really, really big, grand things, so grand that we break them within days, maybe weeks, and just too quickly broken. This is a gentler practice. And rituals are things that are born of the human imagination, and they help us to invoke a state of mind or heart or soul, then also attempt to bring us in touch with truth of some kind, to create meaning, carry us into the present moment. So this year we are making up our fire communion ritual newly under new circumstances. So let's get to it. First, Fidelity will guide us in a meditation about letting go. This one involving not fire, but stones and water.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Fidelity. I'm the Religious Education Coordinator for our lovely congregation. And today I'll be leading our children and everyone in a meditation on letting go. This meditation was adapted from a piece by Melissa Dormoy and a poem by Charles Darling called Skipping Stones. But before we do our meditation, I want to show you what we do in Short and Sweet, which is our religious education for our very littlest ones. Before we meditate or do anything meditative, we get our wiggles out. So feel free, if you want to follow along after me. So I wiggle my fingers, I wiggle my toes, I wiggle my shoulders, I wiggle my nose. Now no more wiggles are left in me, so I can be as still as can be. So feel free to close your eyes and bring yourself to a calm, quiet place in your mind. We're just going to stay here and relax for a few moments so you can notice your feet on the floor and your body on the chair. Now we're going to imagine transporting yourself magically to your favorite spot on a beach. Maybe you're at the Ventura Promenade or Oxnard Shores or in Santa Barbara or Port Hueneme. Picture yourself there now and really paint the scene. Are there other people or are you completely alone? Are there birds playing in the water looking for sand crabs, or is it completely silent? Can you hear the waves crashing? Now slowly walk down toward the shore, towards the surf, until you can feel the lapping of the waves against your feet, and dig your toes into the wet sand. Feel the rhythm of the calm waves flowing over the sand and the warmth of the sunshine. And take a moment to look out at the vast blue ocean. It's so big you can't even see to the other side. Look down to your feet and at the sand. You see all kinds of rocks, stones, and shells. And take a moment now to look around for a perfect skipping stone. So you're looking for a stone that is flat and ovalish, smooth, nearly silky to the touch. Once you find your rock, take a moment to hold it in your hands and reflect on your past year. What went well and what was challenging? Is there anything that isn't sitting right with you that you're ready to release? Maybe for our high school youth and middle school youth, it's letting go of a music performance that didn't get to happen, or letting go of starting your first semester or quarter of college in person, or maybe it's letting go of needing to know exactly how everything will pan out. Maybe it's letting go of a particular worry that you keep churning over in your head. So what we can do is choose a worry, choose something we're letting go of for our skipping stone. And when we're all ready, we're going to throw the stone out into the ocean and see how many times we can get it to skip. So let's take a collective deep breath together, because it takes courage to let something go. We throw our skipping stone, and it has enough weight to cleave right through the air, but it's light enough to skip off the water. It goes for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skips before it seems to skim, then float, then sink, leaving a circle widening behind it. Standing next to the big, beautiful sea, we know that what we needed to let go of has been released to the ocean. So let's bring our attention back to where we are, back from the beach, back to this present moment, back to where we have the feeling of our feet on the ground and your body on the chair. And let's open our eyes together, knowing that we are just a little bit lighter after our skipping stone has rejoined the ocean, ready to be eroded down into tiny flecks of sand by the crashing waves.
Thank you, Fidelity. There are so many ways for us to let go, so many things to let go of, and so many different metaphors and ways we can let go. And we begin one now. So who would have imagined that the year 2020, just think back a year now, a year ago, Who would have imagined that the year 2020, a figure that we use to describe perfect vision, that the year 2020 would be a time when we would be blindsided again and again. Yes, there were gifts amongst all the twists and turns and flips. And yet, this morning, we are creating a ritual of goodbye and good riddance to 2020. So we will begin with a poem in two voices, Let Go by my colleague, the Reverend Lois Van Leer. And as you listen, think about what you want to let go, to burn away, get rid of, consign to the flames. Let go of all that binds you, of all that burdens you, of what you carry, of all that shames you, of fear, of trespasses and transgressions, of woundedness.
Let go of guilt. Let go of anger. Let go of small-mindedness and pettiness, of ways of being that no longer work for you, of compulsions that consume your living. Let go of what you cannot change. Let go of regret, of that which haunts you. Let go of pain. Let go of ways in which you missed the mark. Let go.
So now is the time to write on your paper what you wish to let go. We invite you to consider these questions. What parts of our lives, what things, ideas, people, ways of living have become obstacles to our becoming the people we want to be, the people we need to be? What is holding you back? What do you wish to burn away in a whoosh of release? What will you relinquish as you enter this new year? So, when you have written it down, light your candle, or just use your chalice if you want to, with the match that you had ready. Ooh, hello. And carefully put your slip of paper into the flame. Or if fire is not your favorite thing, because I know it kind of freaks some people out, you can shred your piece of paper, just tear it into tiny pieces. Or later, go out to the beach, get a rock and skip it across the ocean. Let it go. Andy and I will demonstrate with the flash paper that we have had left over from last year, because it is so much fun. And I invite you to join us. Poof. Bah. Poof. Let go.
We are so blessed to have Grammy-nominated singer and musician Teresa James with us today. Teresa was the music director at the Santa Clarita Center for Spiritual Living for 12 years before they closed in December. And she was nominated for a Grammy for Contemporary Blues in 2019. You may have missed her last time, which was about a year ago when she sang for our blues service, Played Up a Storm. And so we are delighted to have her returning today. And she's going to sing Letting It Go.
Teresa, you're muted.
I just saw that. Thanks. Slow down, let it go. Slow down, let it all go. All the fears and the doubts, all the pain, all the wounds, feelings of being alone. Surrender, let it go. Surrender, let it all go. All the shame and the guilt, all the tears, all the blame, feelings of being outside. Surrender, let it go. Don't you know God is here? 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 Just let it all go. Surrender, just let it go. Surrender, let it all go. All the fears and the doubts, all the pain, all the wounds, feelings of being alone. Surrender, let it all go. Just open your heart and let in the light. Open your mind, surrender. Let it go. Surrender. Let it all go. Don't you know God is here? 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 Let it all go.
Each week, we take time in our service to lift up the joys and sorrows that have been shared with our community. You can submit a joy or sorrow to be shared in one of two ways. Every Thursday, the email bulletin, UUCV This Week, includes a link for sharing joys and sorrows, or you can use the joys and sorrows link on our website at uuventura.org. Those sent by 10 p.m. on Saturday evening will be read in the service the following morning. Those received later on Saturday will be shared the following Sunday. When we're together in our physical sanctuary, we drop stones in water for each joy or sorrow. The ripples that go out, much like the ripples of stones skipping on water that Fidelity spoke of, represent the ways in which a joy or sorrow that touches the heart of one of us travels throughout our community to touch us all. Today, the ripples we see on the screen are virtual, but we know the connections they represent are still very real. I invite you now to speak aloud or in your heart the names of those you wish to celebrate or memorialize, or those who may need the loving embrace of this community. By invoking their names, even when we may not hear them, you bring them into this holy circle of caring that we create together. We hold these names, spoken and unspoken, in the silent sanctuary of our hearts. May we be truly grateful for all that is our life.
Each Sunday, this congregation gives away our collection, the whole dang thing, to an organization in the larger community or to funds that help people in our congregation. We now invite you to donate online. Here is the link, and you can always go to the church website to access this directly. It will also be posted in the chat as a direct link. Our offering today goes to Camp de Benneville Pines, and Laura Farr will share with us what camp has meant to her and her family.
Good morning. I've been going to de Benneville Pines for over 50 years with 4 generations of my family, including my grandmother, my parents, my siblings, and my children. I attended many camps over the years, starting with family camp in 1969. Then in my middle school years, I started attending youth camps on my own, which grew into becoming a youth counselor, attending Thanksgiving family camps, and most influentially, attending senior high camps where I bonded with other liberal teens in a way we couldn't in our high schools in Orange County. De Benneville was my second home and still is. I met many of my closest friends at camp, and although most of us drifted apart in the 90s, we came back together for a reunion in 2005 where over 130 campers from the 70s and 80s reunited for the first time in nearly 30 years. It was a joyous, emotional, and sometimes overwhelming weekend. This reunion, with the help of Facebook, set in motion a new level of connection for these long-lost friends. It was during the reunion that some of us decided to start attending family camps with our children who were elementary school aged. 14 summers later, my camp friends and I have had the opportunity to get to know each other's children and watch them grow into the adults they are becoming. Family camp and all the other camps my children and I have attended over the years have offered us so many things. Freedom with responsibility, playing in nature, being with a liberal, like-minded community, worshiping amongst the trees, learning communication and leadership skills, falling in love, being with family, and most important, making lifelong friendships. This year with the pandemic, de Benneville Pines has had to close its doors and its only income has been from donors. In addition, in September, camp was nearly destroyed by the El Dorado fire, burning literally right up to camp's doorstep and severely damaging the surrounding forest, making flowing water a danger to camp. Nearly 10,000 sandbags have been placed strategically to redirect water and mud flow with an unexpected cost of $150,000. Camp needs our support right now, and any donation you can make, large or small, would be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much.
All I have, all I feel, is all because of you. All I reap is all I sow, and love is our living proof. Thank you for life. Thank you for everything. I stand here in grace and gratitude, and I thank you. Thank you for life. Thank you for everything. I stand here in grace and gratitude, and I thank you. I stand here in grace and gratitude, and I thank you.
Thank you, Teresa, and thank you, Laura. The generosity of this congregation weaves a tapestry of imagining what is possible. And Camp de Benneville is a place which has spun some of the very brightest threads woven into our tapestry of love that we call community. Thank you all.
We invite you now into our second ritual, and that of setting intention for this new year of 2021. As Reverend Dana said earlier, this is not about making New Year's resolutions, which are often so quickly broken. Rather, this is a chance to imagine calling forth a new spirit into our lives, new possibilities into the world. So now is the time to have your second piece of paper ready. We offer a second poem in two voices. It begins now in the imagination by Reverend Gretchen Haley. It starts here, in this moment, in this breath that you feel rising in your chest. This beat between us, the healing, the hunger, the hope, the courage, the calling, the commitment, the drawing out of a new day.
It begins now in the imagination. In this story we weave together. This song we sing, this prayer we bring into being. From our hearts to our lips, from our hands to our life, our shared life.
It starts here with praise and thanksgiving, forgiveness, and this humble, centering confession that we could be wrong. This promise that we make to keep learning, to keep trying, to keep our sense of humor, to keep close this knowing that we are all in this together. Come, let us begin.
I invite you now to write something on the second piece of paper, this one to keep. Consider these questions. What do you want to enter the new year with? What do you imagine it will be like? What intentions, affirmations, aspirations do you want to set? You can write on this paper. Use it as a bookmark, or stick it up on the refrigerator door with a magnet, or bury it deep in your sock drawer to discover later words from the past coming into the future. And so take some moments and write what it is. And if you wish, we invite you to post your whatever words you have written into the chat. And Andy and I will read them aloud and share them with all. More love.
Choices that heal myself and the world.
More hope.
New adventures.
Courage.
Anticipation.
Keep walking.
Love and peace for our country and the world.
Open new doors.
Showing more love to all.
More generosity.
Gratitude and compassion.
Patience.
Invite all guests with honor.
Go deeper into spirituality.
Practice kindness always.
Growth.
A successful podcast ministry.
Hope and peace and positive thoughts for everyone.
Contrite, deep hearts.
Peace that will radiate from me.
Imagination and perseverance.
Love with all my heart.
Celebrate little things.
Deeper connections.
More courage.
Remembering to be grateful.
Equanimity.
Be more for and less against.
Acceptance.
Gratitude. Demonstrate love, hope, and patience.
Gratitude and peace.
Finding joy in everyday life.
Serenity.
More listening.
Open to possibilities.
Let us, healing for the natural world.
Courage to face the darkness.
Loving my body.
More wagging and less barking.
Love, empathy, and healing. And though our list can go on and on, I put an arbitrary close on this here and tell us all, never stop dreaming. May it be so.
Bring it on, everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through crying, I'm through waiting, I'm through hoping against all hope. I'm through longing for something gone that'll never return. I think I finally learned, yeah, bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through grieving, I'm through dreaming that the life I had is ever coming back. No more wishing on someone else's star that'll never be mine. Yeah, I think it's time. So bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. Yeah, I'm just waiting for my next thing to do. Oh, and I know it's gonna be everything new. Yeah, I've survived many times before. Broken hearts, slamming doors, but I'll be alright. Yes, I will once more, just as I did back then. Yeah, I'm gonna rise again. So bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. Oh, I'm waiting for my next thing to do. Oh, and I know it's gonna be everything new. Yes, I know it's gonna be everything new.
Thank you again. Wow. So we have made it through 2020 and nearly 10 months of incredible disruption. It wasn't all bad, though so much of it was really hard. And I hope our ritual this morning has burned away some of the heaviness, the distress. Yet time does pass, and we welcome 2021, a year in which we imagine a brighter future. Yet, don't all the spiritual sages and guides tell us to stay in the present? Don't they say that wisdom, possibility, delight, and peace are found in the present moment? Present moment, wonderful moment, as Thich Nhat Hanh intones. Now, algorithms and cookies being what they are, I recently received an email invitation to subscribe to the Daily Stoic. 2,000-year-old wisdom delivered to my inbox each morning. That first email introduced the practice of memento mori, essentially, remember your death. I don't know whether they had me at memento or at mori. For my spiritual path has been guided always, since I was like 3 years old. It has been guided by an awareness of mortality. In a nutshell, we are all alive. We are going to die. So what is the meaning and purpose of this, yes, too brief life? Far from being morbid or depressing for me, these questions bring me alive. Remembering that I will die makes my life so much more poignant. It helps me say yes to life, to truth, to love. The Stoic philosopher Seneca advised that we write reflections each night as if the day just past had been your last living on earth. He wrote, "You may not wake up tomorrow. So if this was your last day, how did it go? Were you satisfied? What was completed? What still left undone?" The one who puts the finishing touches on their life each day is never short of time, Seneca concluded. Yet, that also then means that each morning you wake up is a bonus. Hey, I'm still alive. Which puts a whole new flavor on the day. Now, I have been keeping a gratitude journal each night for a while now, but now at the top of each page I write memento mori. It sharpens and heightens all that I am grateful for. And I have found this practice to be incredibly freeing. It's long been not my favorite habit of mind, but it has long been a habit of mine for me to ruminate and run back over past slights or past times that I may have caused offense to someone. And that can take up a lot of brain space. So now I stop and ask, do I really want to spend my last day on earth worrying about this? So often the answer has been no. And then, remarkably, I stop fretting. Yet, sometimes the answer is yes. I do want to spend time on my last day on earth dealing with this. Recently, I said something that I worried had hurt someone I care about. And I thought, yes, I do want to spend my last day on earth on this. Yet, rather than fretting, I went home and wrote an apology email. My friend had noticed what I said, though had not been especially hurt. And yet this process cleared the air with my friend, and it cleared the air in my head. Far from being depressing, this practice has brought a new kind of focus in my life. I ride the waves more easily, even as they go up and down, and it's all just a bit more fun. I can't yet say if it's done anything for my tennis game, but focus matters there too. And it has helped me be more present in the moment, stopping to smell the flowers and tend to the relationships that matter most. It's heightened my awareness of moments of beauty and delight, and perhaps it's even begun to retrain some of those neural pathways of worry and regret. So I hope that our rituals of letting go and welcoming today also help you arrive more fully now in this moment. And it reminds me of an old story that Buddhist nun Pema Chodron tells. For Buddhists also reflect on mortality, the awareness that everything arises and then, yes, passes away, helps bring focus to the present moment. As the story goes, a monk is walking down a path and sees a tiger behind him. Running away, he trips and falls over a cliff. Luckily, he is able to catch hold of a tree root, though now he is dangling halfway down or halfway up. And looking down, he sees a second tiger below him. If he manages to climb back up, a tiger is still waiting for him up there. Yet if he lets go and somehow survives the fall, surely the tiger at the bottom will happily eat him. Tigers above, tigers below. What now? Tigers above, tigers below, writes Pema Chodron, is exactly the predicament we are always in. And lately, this has been even more visceral. We are caught hanging from a cliff by a dangling root. The coronavirus awaits us at the top, and the financial crisis awaits us at the bottom. Yet, the monk hanging there in mortal danger suddenly notices a beautiful ripe strawberry growing from the cliff edge. He plucks the strawberry and pops it into his mouth. How sweet and delicious. Chodron continues, each moment is just what it is. It might be the only moment of your life. It might be the only strawberry you will ever eat. We can learn to appreciate it and delight in the preciousness of every single moment. Present moment, wonderful moment. Now, being in the present doesn't necessarily save the world. It doesn't absolve us of our responsibilities. There are any number of moments in a life that are very hard to stay present in. Yet it can bring us this staying in the moment. It can bring us a sense of urgency, potency, power, and delight. It can make things taste better and bring a sense of possibility into each moment. It can bring us meaning. And all of these are fuel for lives that make a difference. So whatever else we do, whatever else you do, stay here in this present and wonderful moment, and we will find our way through this next year of 2021 once again together. Amen, and may it be so.
Glass half empty, glass half full. Depends on the day, depends on the fool who is asking, and the fool who replies, you're gonna drink it up anyway. It doesn't really matter what you say. Raise your cup to another day in this big old life. Yeah, the door wide open, door closed down. Depends on the moon, depends on the clown in your head, waving all of them signs. So skip the wherefores and shouldn't be's and head straight for the exit, please. Step on into the path you made in this big old life. The sun comes up, sun goes down on every small forgotten town, shining down on every soul, spilling light in every dark hole. There ain't a thing that you gotta do to let that sun shine down on you. Step right in to this big old life. Well, love me tender, love me not. Depends on the flower, depends on the heart-plucking petals and the mirror inside. Are you ready to rise and shine? Are you ready to say, be mine? If you are, then let's take a ride in this big old life. Oh, are you ready to rise and shine? Are you ready to say, be mine? If you are, then let's take a ride in this big old life. Come on and let's take a ride in this big old life. Here you go.
Okay, just in the present moment, I'm experiencing delight. And in this present moment, I invite you into a time of prayer. Holy beingness, known by so many names and unnameable, spark of imagination and creative spirit of life, which dwells within and among and beyond us this day and always. May we enter this new year more lightly, more joyfully whenever we can. May we enter this new year, 2021, with even clearer vision. May we have confidence in what is possible. May we feel confident in our capacity. May we not be daunted by all that is amiss and all that is yet needed in this world. May we never forget all who are in need and the great needs that face us, that confront so many people in our lives and across the world. And yet may we move in each moment with full presence, with full conviction, with despair, delight, sorrow, joy, all mixed together. And may we truly enter and live this big old life. And may all those who are ill find healing. May those who are in despair find hope. May those who are without shelter in these coldest months find warmth and home. And may all those in conflict and war throughout the world, may they and we know peace. Amen. And blessed be.
Please join me in our closing hymn, I'm on my way.
Please join Reverend Dana in extinguishing your chalice at home. We extinguish the chalice, but not the light in our hearts, the warmth of community, or the assurance and goodness we have found here. Those we carry into our lives until we gather again.
Before I say final words, I want to just let everyone know you will be about to be placed in breakout rooms for our virtual coffee hour. And if you have updated Zoom to Zoom 5.3 or higher, this next announcement applies to you. You will find that when you come out of your first breakout room, you will have the option, if you've upgraded, the option to put yourself in another breakout room of your very own choosing. I know that this is something that some people have been asking about. Zoom has made it easier, and this will help motivate some of us, including me, to actually upgrade our Zoom accounts. So, and if you haven't upgraded, it'll be as it has been, and we will carry on forth. So even if you are new among us, I sincerely invite all to join into a breakout room. You can join, or you can opt out after the benediction. And and then if you do want to keep chatting and you don't have the option, just come back in the main room, and we'll put you into another breakout room. It has been lovely to share this hour with you, to be together at this turning of the year. And I leave you with these words from Langston Hughes. We have tomorrow before us bright. We have tomorrow bright before us like a flame. Yesterday, a night gone thing, a sundown name. And dawn today, broad arch above the road we came. March on. Come, let us go to the freedom land together. And so go forth in peace. Go forth in good health. Go forth in love. Happy New Year. May it be so.
We hope you've enjoyed Good Riddance and Welcome, presented by the Reverend Dana Worsnop, recorded on January 3rd, 2021 for the Unitarian Universalist Church of Ventura, California.